I don't have like ace king or ace queen, but
David Baker raises with pocket aces.
that's why you're stuck 10,000 in the game.
Somerville folds. And now to a new player at the table, Scott Baumstein in the big blind. Re-raises with ace king of hearts. Back to David Baker. David trying to disguise the strength of his hand. A min raise to 2,000. Quickly, ODB says, yeah, I call. It's a $12,000 pot for Scott Baumstein as he just sits down.
That seat hasn't been running too good.
Definitely.
Welcome to the game.
Not as bad as you, Tom.
Yeah.
Not as bad as you, but this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the seat's not running as bad as me, but it is. Well,
6 of hearts on the turn.
I would have folded if I saw a flop.
Six on the heart. 6 of hearts on the turn.
Nah, I had 5.
Here comes the turn. It is a deuce. So Scott needs a king on the river to win or a 3 to chop this pot. It is a 10.
You know it's so good, Baker.
It's disgusting. You are disgusting.
And David Baker is going to pull a $12,000 pot.
Good game, Scott.
You make me
Nice playing with you guys.
yeah. It's the rent on that seat is 5,000 a hand.
Actually, you were telling me about
Roll the 7.
Yeah, y'all got his very first hand.
I had to go. I lived in New Orleans. In New Orleans, I went to tons of Saints games, and my dad would take me to Saints games. We would always buy from. We would always buy from scalpers.
right away when he doubles up. It's like
Right.
And
We don't care.
came to Baltimore. It's the only place I've ever bought fake tickets.
Yeah.
Bought what?
I bought fake tickets.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry.
The only place that I've
5
ever.
and a quarter.
I-
Yeah. Welcome to Baltimore. You know.
We paid like $300 for tickets, and they weren't good.
Wow.
And so then
Let's
we
see
go
if we
to.
can bust Scott again. Let's just
Scott's back in with ace king.
see if we can bust Scott again real
Oh
quick.
my God, Gavin! You make
And
me
Gavin
sick.
Smith folds his ace king, much to the chagrin of Matt Glanz.
Really?
Really? What's going on here?
Scott Baumstein starts the long road back.
Wow.
I wish I could get that hand.
I wasn't folding against Somerville.
Rams Head Center Stage here at Maryland Live, usually hosting great live music, but tonight hosting the Poker Night in America cash game. Poker Night in America brought to you by 888 Poker, where the world plays online.
I don't think it really matters. I don't think that the hand plays that.
It was
Greg Merson was in a $100 straddle. He will call the raise with Queen 10 of diamonds. Back to Scott with 5-7 of hearts.
The biggest growing sport in the world. The fight yesterday was amazing.
It's still wrong. It's still wrong that Floyd Mayweather can make 50 million and like Anderson Silva would make like $1 million. It's just nice as
1,150.
up,
Well, Anderson made more than $1 million, but
And Scott wants some action fast at this table. He re-raises to 1,150.
This should never have happened.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Yeah.
Gene Drubetskoy plays here at Maryland Live as well, quite a bit.
I took care of it.
We got raises all over this table.
See, I
We're
didn't
now
know
at
it happened.
2,500.
Enjoy that
Quality
experience?
hand.
Did you enjoy that experience, Craigie?
Look at that quality.
That is quality. Yeah, that's way better than we thought. Wow. How'd you fold?
What do you think I'm in there with the 7-9 off there? You're absurd.
If that was Craig Mueller, he'd have called it 2,400.
Yeah, you're right. By the way,
Yeah, somebody owes me 200.
I know exactly what you had.
I got the bet down here.
I know exactly what you had.
It's 1,200 minus
Just because of that comment.
Oh, is it you that owes me 200?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's 200. I wrote the bet down
I mean,
here.
it was definitely 200. So Jesus, I only.
Well, I got the
Ten-
bet written
10
down
ace
here
spades?
right when we made it.
Scott will stop his bluff,
Queen 10 of diamonds.
and Gene's going to take down a nice big pot in showing the world his pocket kings.
That jacket is so absurd.
It's not good luck anymore either. I think I'm gonna take it off.
I think the fact that you took it off was your curse. You know, you basically dissed the jacket because you were a little uncomfortable.
You've been running bad like Tom ever since.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not as bad as Tom.
gotta reload if needed.
Raises up 200.
Is it 200? Would you guys all mind if we just gave Matt Glantz aces every couple rounds so he'd play a hand?
Yeah,
You guys okay with that? We just
He said he only likes to play against steel.
he does like to play against me.
It's working out well.
It's working out real well.
He's only playing against Tom when he's running bad, and he's still losing every pot. Imagine if Tom was running good, you'd be stuck 30,000 right now.
Imagine.
You'd be getting credit from everybody at the table.
Tommy Run Bad is killing me today.
Tom, will you loan Matt back the money that you went off him?
Yeah, sure. If he wants it.
200.
Damn it.
You know when I Six Poker's on TV, all the guys were getting like 800 an hour.
Yeah.
1,400 an hour.
14?
Is that much?
So insane.
How insane is that?
A check and a 350 bet from David Baker. Trying to keep this pot small with that queen on the board.
I turned it down every time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I never bet on that 6 poker. I got invited every time.
And the river is a king, another scare card. Let's see if Gene's going to finally make a bet instead of just calling all the way to the river. He's probably going to win the pot if he does.
What do you do? Sit back and wait for full tilt checks.
yeah, I mean, if you're getting half million a year from full tilt, why play 100K super hard cash game?
Baker calls this. He's the worst player I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely the best ever.
What? Something bullshit about me, I'm sure.
Nothing to do with you, I swear.
No, you both looked at me and started
I said,
Man,
Baker.
of course, for everything, it's like, you know, the dream.
That's what I said.
Well, Gene definitely has one of the best players in the world confused here.
If you're betting a hand better than mine, I feel like it's king, queen, or I win. But I don't know. You might have a better hand.
History poker.
He makes the call. Gene doesn't want to show,
You're wrong, Glance.
but he does, and David Baker's going to show a
You're
winner.
wrong. You know what he was saying, Baker? He says if Baker calls this, he's the worst player in the world.
Ever seen.
Great call from David Baker.
Nothing better than winning the pot and making Matt look bad in the process.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a spot where I would normally fold. Matt Lance even said that.
If he's like setting up lineup, I don't think he's gonna love
Full
it.
Jack 10.
He comes off a little cold at first.
No. I think we're like cool and stuff, but in terms of like, I don't think he'll let me play in a game.
150.
Well, he plays just the best.
Greg Merson, the world champ from right here in Baltimore, going to raise to 150. Scott calls.
The highest quality of player he'll bring with him
All
is Jeff
steamed
Gross.
up.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't play terrible, but he certainly,
10,000
you know,
Yeah, I played.
isn't an
Right,
level.
he invited me to in this game. Are you kidding?
A couple of spades on the flop, and it's 10 high, so that gives Greg Merson
You ever
top
play
pair.
anything?
And Scott has absolutely nothing, but he's
I can get
betting.
in. I think Bill would let me in.
Lance calls.
I'm pretty sure I could get in. I'm pretty sure I could get in the RA games in.
Merson raises it to 900.
I'm pretty sure.
Scott folds.
You know John Rivera really well?
I know Bobby Baldwin pretty well.
I can tell there.
You give off the aura of action. He knows that. That's why he can be a nit and win.
So Matt does call, so we will see a turn. Turns a 3. That's actually pretty good for Matt. He now picks up the open-ended straight draw to go with the flush draw.
Jason has been far nittier today than I thought he was going to be too, by the way.
14, 1,400.
Matt Glantz, one of the great thinkers in the game, raises to 4,200.
Who the hell woke up Matt? What's going on? Someone got him all hot and bothered.
only play aces.
Why didn't
He
you
wants to be buried.
And now the thinking's on Greg Merson.
Going to go all in and lose.
All in. And call.
What do you have?
What are you?
All right, the chips are all in the middle. It's a nearly $15,000 pot, depending on this river.
That's why, because he runs like
He
that.
runs so big, he always makes 2 pair. Oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh wow! Guess what? Guess who's got his voice back? Somebody's funny now all of a sudden.
Alan, I'm quite your mule.
Yeah.
He threw it at me.
David, are you kidding me with aces again?
You're supposed to put it in a baggie and shove it up your butt, right? Because that's the only way you can carry it.
So I owe 1,000.
As a mule.
He raises to 150. Matt calls with pocket eights.
You muled for the cast?
Yeah, right?
Somerville calls with 6-3. That's right. Get some of those hands in there. Let's see how David Baker can play against ace crackers. Jack 10 definitely in that ace cracking range. This time David's got to take his aces versus 3 other players.
Let's see how bad Baker plays this hand.
Flop is 4, queen 3.
I just know how he was telling us he was worth 1.5.
400.
Because they're limit games. Limit games.
Jason Somerville bets 400.
No, I didn't even
Call from Baker. Lance mucks the 8s.
And you're talking to me about me.
No, I'll tell you why.
I'm playing a Omaha tournament with Alan Kessler. There's some old crusty guy. This guy plays in every Omaha tournament. He plays tight as a drum. He has the pot scooped before the river. And this guy catches a miracle card, like a 1-outer. And Alan looks at the board. This guy gets up. It's his last hand. He gets busted out of the tournament by getting a 1-outer. And Alan goes, God, wow. That's you know, you just got 1 out. That's really bad luck. The guy goes, no. To Alan, like Alan just explained something to him that he had no clue. The guy plays every Omaha. It's just funny.
Aces scoop 3,400 for Baker this time.
Yeah.
Maryland Live, located just outside of Baltimore, about 25, 30 minutes from downtown.
Do we need reservations first?
Wow.
Do you know how long our
Mercer's
day
up his own time.
1 hour.
Action is on Scott Baumstein. The calls.
He's like the nicest kid. He really is.
Hey, okay, guys.
Gene
so
Drubetskoy raises with pocket kings. David Baker re-raises with pocket aces.
Deal with 50 from the pot goes to the dealer.
But when Greg
late now, but-
when
Yeah,
Greg
Greg
comes
goes-
back, he owes $5. Hey,
Greg,
Greg,
pull out 5.
you got to owe $5 because you weren't here for the time pot.
This is yours. That's yours.
We'll see who you owe it to, though. We got to see who wins the pot.
$7? Not 5?
Oh, wait, it's more than 5, yeah.
Eight-handed, yeah.
Shit, $7, Greg.
I don't have 7.
And you missed your straddle. You got to put on 100 next pot.
Yeah, I know.
$7, Greg. You're gonna owe it to Gene, the guy who's obviously got a better hand than Baker right now.
That's the funniest thing you've said all day.
Wow, there you go.
I feel like my day's being wasted now. Most of my jokes are indirect needles.
Well, David Baker is going to play this one a little slower than last time. He's just going to call the raise, see if he can get Gene to commit more chips on the flop. And that's a great flop for both of these hands, so I expect that Gene's going to be putting all the chips in the middle here on the flop. 2,100 is the bet.
2,100. Yeah, I'm just saying 100 babysit, doesn't it? What? Oh, you okay. All right, I'll make that straight.
Here comes the raise from David Baker.
Right now.
Right, the turn river don't count.
It can count.
Wait, what is it? I'm not allowed in?
We got some stuff.
And he bets enough to put Gene all in. And here's the bad news.
That's pretty lucky. What do you get, kings? You got 2 kings, right? Yeah. It's almost like
All right, here comes the turn.
Hey, we got aces.
Ooh, it's a queen. And the river. It's a 6. That pot worth $17,000.